So when Liverpool beat Everton 1-0 in a big win in the Merseyside derby, Virgil van Dijk had a little bit of a spat with Michael Owen in an interview after the game. Now, you might know Michael Owen. Came up through the Liverpool Academy, won a Ballon d'Or with Liverpool, sought greener pastures by going to Real Madrid, which ultimately was a terrible decision. Someone should maybe take notes of that. And then, obviously, Michael Owen returned to the Premier League to play for Newcastle for a stint before completely backstabbing Liverpool Football Club and playing for Manchester United. Yes, that Michael Owen. The same Michael Owen who, when winning a Premier League with Manchester United, decided it was a good decision for him to say, well, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, well, as they say, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's been my motto really today.
That Michael Owen, a complete and utter idiot, if you ask me, and personally just terrible pundit and commentator in general. Following Liverpool's 1-0 victory, which put us closer to winning a Premier League title, something that we are only going to do for the second time in 30 plus years or so, Michael Owen, in an interview with Virgil van Dijk, decided to say, "I'm just thinking, if you said at the start of the season that you're going to win the Premier League, I'm sure everyone would have been over the moon. However, it was building into something very, very special. How hard was it, after a couple of big defeats in cup competitions, to get your mind tuned back into the Premier League and finish the season well?" And then, obviously, Virgil van Dijk responded to him with, "So you're suggesting the season is not going to be special anymore?" And then obviously told Michael Owen that the narrative needed to be changed surrounding this topic. I thought, just in general, it's fun to highlight Michael Owen being an idiot and getting embarrassed on global television. But then on top of that, I think it's an interesting topic to take a step back and look at the success Liverpool have had and some of the success that we obviously have fell short in. Now, if you look at it currently in the Premier League, we're probably going to win a Prem title this season. If we don't, we cannot consider this season any sort of a success because it will be one of the biggest bottle jobs of all time, knock on wood. If you look at the other competitions, the Champions League, we got knocked out in the round of 16 by a very, very good PSG side. I think PSG are going to go far in the tournament and even potentially win it. And ultimately, if they do win the Champions League, I think there is a little bit of a good feeling when you get knocked out and the team that knocked you out goes on to win it because you lost to the best team. But on the flip side of things, then you also will be thinking maybe we would have had a shot at winning the Champions League had we beat them. In the Champions League, not winning, you can't hold that against Liverpool. You look at the FA Cup. The FA Cup for me was the biggest coaching error I saw out of Arne Slot this season. I thought we fielded a far too inexperienced team and a team which didn't have enough goals in it against Plymouth, and we lost. It was a huge upset. It was terrible, blah, blah. The Carabao Cup, we lost in a final. Like, yes, it sucks that we lost in a final, but we made it to a final of a competition, and we lost. We were the worst team on the day, for sure. Newcastle were brilliant that day, but we lost. But we won the Premier League. And Owen even says, if you were to say at the beginning of the season, we were going to win the Premier League, every Liverpool fan would be over the moon. That is the competition. You ask most Liverpool fans, if you could win one competition this season, what would it be? The Prem. Because we've only ever seen us win that one time. I've seen Liverpool win the Champions League twice, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, I don't even know how many times, but I've only seen us win the Prem once, and it was during COVID. So it was the competition that I wanted to win the most. Also, you have to look at it from the full scope of things. This is a manager on his first season. The fact that people like Michael Owen like to put the expectation so much higher just because we were performing well is ridiculous. Obviously, we would have loved to have won the Premier League and another trophy, but that's not an expectation. We've far exceeded everyone's expectations by even winning a trophy, let alone the Premier League this season. So I think when it comes to guys like this, to even suggest that the team or the fans would be a little upset over the fact that we got knocked out of competitions that nobody expected us to be in, I'm sorry. It just goes to show how much of a terrible pundit Michael Owen is, and Virgil Van Dijk showed him that. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you know every time I make a new video. Currently on track to 1,000 subscribers, so any and all support I can get, I really, truly do appreciate it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.